rubber hits the road, I'm done doing what I'm told. I'm doing what I want, riding steel. Leather on my back and the wind in my face. I'm one with the highway and with the human race. This iron horse will separate the bolt and what is real. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. We're riding steel.
Welcome back to Ridin Steel. I'm here with Todd Sanders. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Winthrop, Maine, the 17th of May already. The season has begun. We're in season 8.
Season 8, hard to believe.
It is.
It's been a good ride.
Yeah, it has been. And we're moving on to 8 years here with Ridin Steel. And we're back at the Marlee's ride, a charity ride that is put together to raise money for the Julia Clukey Camp for Girls, right?
Yes.
And it is solely girls, right?
It is. And, this was a ride that last year we were spread pretty thin. We had a bunch of events going on. I don't know if it was the same weekend last year or not, but so the crew was kind of spread out. So last year Tom Atwood and I came up and were able to cover this event and meet Ted, her dad, and, meet the people behind this, pulling this ride together. And it's a very tragic story, but it's for a very worthy cause.
Right. For those of you who are watching this for the very first time and hearing about Marlee's ride for the very first time, Marlee was a teenage girl. I'm not sure of her age. Do you recall her age? But she was a teenage girl, and she was out walking her dog one day when a teenage boy came out of his home and struck her in the head with a rock, and it killed her.
In 24 hours, we went yesterday to Jordan's funeral. He passed away. He was 17 years old. Today we're here for a memorial ride and to a remembrance cookout for another young child that was lost. And I just, I have to give applause out and accolades to these parents, because being a parent myself, you're a parent. What they have to go through in losing a child, no parent should have to go through that. So I have to give all those families, just a round of applause, because it's been very incredible for 24 hours.
That's right. So listen, folks, stay tuned. Todd's going to be introducing you to Ted Johnson soon, and hopefully Paul Labby will want to speak with us as well. He was a big supporter of Ridin Steel last year. It wouldn't have came on TV if it wouldn't have been for the Labby son, Ray Labby and Sons Construction. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Todd Sanders here at Marlee's Ride 2015, our second time covering this ride. As I said last year, I was fortunate enough to come up and cover the ride and meet this exceptional family. So I'm going to just let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to pick their brains a little bit about what prompted them to turn a tragedy into a very worthwhile cause. So who do I have with me?
I'm Ted Johnson. I was Marlee's father.
Marlene Thibodeau, Mom.
Alec Johnston, her brother.
And if you watched the show last year, I know that I certainly remember speaking to you and her brother. I'm not sure if I got an opportunity to speak to you or not last year or not, but
I don't know. I can't
it was a
remember.
while ago. So we're going to live in the moment right now. So Steve mentioned a little bit about, and I hate to put you guys on the spot and have revisit a tragedy, but if you could just tell us a little bit about your daughter and maybe a little bit about what happened, because I know you spoke very well about it last year. So if you want to start.
Marlee was 14 years old, and she was out walking the dogs middle of the afternoon and didn't come home, and turned out that she was murdered by a 14-year-old very disturbed boy. And we were crushed. Marlee was an exceptional person. She and her brother were very close. They did a lot together. She loved to read. She loved adventure. And she loved the fact that she was going to get a motorcycle as soon as she got her license. Her brother was going to give her his hand-me-down and a Honda 200, which we still have, a 1980 vintage. And so our family, we've been riding bikes since forever. As I was 11 years old when I started riding on a mini bike. So we thought we'd take the tragedy and do something positive with it. And I know an awful lot of bikers as part of our extended family, and the idea came and we will have a bike ride.
Now, we mentioned the Labbies. We rode up with them, and it was actually them that made me aware of the ride last year, I believe. What's your connection with the Labbies?
Well, they're dear friends. They're very special people. It's a great family. I do some work with them on the business side, but most importantly, just super people.
And you know, as you look around the parking lot, I think you could say that about most of the people that show up for an event like this.
Well, yeah. I mean, bikers love to ride. Well, any excuse, but we like to do things that mean something and make a difference.
And we like beautiful weather like today.
That's
So,
not right.
Is that Marley doing it for us?
She tries.
Mom, you know, and I said in the opener, this is the second in about a 24-hour window. We were at a funeral yesterday for a young child who passed away from cancer. I say young, 17. Every parent's, worst nightmare. I can't imagine. So I said it in the opener as well, to have the courage to take a tragedy and turn it into something positive. I mean, what's today mean to you?
Just people getting together, and everyone loves. It's just a wonderful, good vibe. You know, everyone's enjoying the day, and that's how we tried to live every day that way. We always had such a great time, just being home, being a family, and this is just an extended part of it.
I put you on the spot last year. I think I'm going to do it again. Can you just tell us, for those people that are watching, we didn't have the opportunity or the privilege to get to meet Marley. Can you just tell me what it was like, you know, growing up being her sibling?
Well, as you can imagine, with any brother-sister relationship, it was not always the smoothest. There were days I wished I was an only child, but that was usually fleeting moments. Yeah. Marley was truly an exceptional person. She was very unique in her views and how she went about things. In many ways, she managed to really bring out the best. She was very straightforward. She was very loving, very caring, and was always interested in what was the best for us and her friends. And it really was great to have known her and to have been a part of her, or have her be a part of our lives.
Now, the ride, I understand Julie Clukey is here this year. Last year she was in traveling. Obviously, for those of you who may be watching, may not know who Julie Clukey is. She's an Olympian luger. So a very successful Olympian luger from the Augusta area in Maine. And last year, she, as I said, she was caught in travel, and I got the opportunity to speak to her mom and her sister. But she's here today, so hopefully we get an opportunity to talk to her. How did this become the charity cause that you wanted to make the funds that you raised today go to?
Well, we live in Fayette. We ride by, every time we go into Augusta, we ride by the Camp KV where we saw the sign. And Marley loved camp. She'd get to go, and it was just fun for her. She really liked adventure. And we thought about all the young people who don't get the chance. And Marley was a girl, and so we picked that because it's a camp for girls. Yep. And Julia Clukey is such a stellar role model, such a positive attitude, just wholesome, real good person to emulate for the young people.
So this is the charity event that you foresee the monies for every future ride going to. That's going to be the partnership for a while?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we were able to send 8 13-year-old girls from around the area who couldn't otherwise go to summer camp. And there's a young girl here today who went, and they all come back with big smiles, and it's an experience of a lifetime for some of them.
Now, we talked about promoting an event. You and I off camera, we were talking about, promoting an event such as this. What do you have a date next year?
It's the Sunday after Mother's Day, whatever that is.
Okay. It's always nice meeting you guys and seeing you guys. So well done. Hopefully it's a great ride. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Attention parents, kids, and educators. Join Keeping Kids Safe and Ridin Steel Friday, February 19th from 5 to 7:30 at Happy Wheels Skate Center in Portland as we continue our efforts to educate on internet safety and bring awareness to the issue of bullying.
Now it's quick.
As I ride on 2 wheels, I feel
All right, so what do you got for a hand so far? You got you're working on a straight.
Okay, cut the deck.
Come on, you can do this.
Do you pick or you flip it? You're flipping. Okay, just
You want me to pick?
everybody's got
You
different.
got your queen. You got your queen.
Yeah.
Take that queen.
7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. That's what you're looking for. You're almost there. 4 cards towards the straight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was married too.
All right,
Cut the deck.
that's what I'm going for now too. What do I got? A 10?
Yeah.
What do I already got a 10. I'm not sure if I want that. And I sure as hell don't want that. I'll take the 10.
Okay.
All right.
Take me to Vegas.
I
on
lost.
Halloween.
You're our only hope. Good luck, you guys.
Yeah, I'm right behind you losing, so.
There you go. There's got to be losers in every crowd.
That's right.
Attention parents, kids, and educators. Join Keeping Kids Safe and Ridin Steel Friday, February 19th from 5 to 7:30 at Happy Wheels Skate Center in Portland as we continue our efforts to educate on internet safety and bring awareness to the issue of bullying.
I have the honor to be with Julia Clukey herself and Savannah.
Green.
Savannah Green. Savannah is a young lady who attended the camp, and now she has stepped up to actually volunteer her time. So I'm going to speak with Savannah for just a minute here, Julia, okay? Savannah, why don't you tell us first of all, what the circumstances were behind you going to the camp in the first place?
Well, my mom had suggested that I go to this camp. We found out about it through the Y, and I went the first year on crutches with a broken ankle, and helped
From a trampoline accident, by the way.
Yeah. I helped Julia out with some stuff because I couldn't do much, and so the next year I asked to volunteer, and
There you are, right? Right, and what did you experience when you were at the camp that made you want to go back and be a volunteer and help support this?
it was a really positive environment, and I enjoyed going there every day and just feeling genuinely happy and just comfortable with everything, and it just helped me find myself, and I wanted to help other girls do that as well.
Have you ever been to such a camp like this before?
No, not at all.
Never ever.
No.
Right. You've never gone to camp. Have you ever camped before?
Well, yeah, I go to the state Y camp every year.
Okay.
That's an overnight camp, but I've never been to just a girls' camp before.
Now, Julia, I guess my first question would be, what inspired you to start this camp? First of all, you're an Olympic silver medalist, is it?
I didn't medal in the Olympics, but I've won medals at the World Cup level. I competed in the 2010 Olympics, and really just being a female athlete, I feel like I've been able to grow as an individual, and I want all young girls to grow up, not feeling limited by who they are, and not be afraid to go after their dreams, whatever that activity is. Luge is a pretty random sport. It's not a very common activity. So through that, experiencing what I did and finding an activity that I love to do, I think it's really important for all young people to find that, and particularly young girls. As they enter middle and high school, they start to face outside pressures, to conform, to look a certain way or feel a certain way, and I just don't think that's really healthy, and I want young girls just to grow up setting goals for themselves, going after what they want, and not worrying so much about what they look like, but really just how they're enjoying the activities that they're doing.
Right. So how did the camp itself come to be? Was it a camp that was already established and you got on board to support them because of your notoriety or your fame or whatever, and you figured that would help them more?
So actually, the Kennebec Valley YMCA has a summer camp. It's called Camp KV, and 4 years ago I approached a friend in the community about the idea of doing a clinic for young girls, just like almost like a workshop day, because I thought it was really important with my status as an athlete to give back to young girls. And he came back with the idea to do a summer camp, and I'm kind of the person that says yes to everything, and so we just kind of ran with it the first year. We approached the Kennebec Valley YMCA, and they were really excited about the project. So that's really where the partnership started, and we just kind of hit the ground running and threw it together the first year, and I've learned a lot every year since. This is going to be the 4th year of camp, so it's been a pretty successful project for the community.
Right. And, such things that you're inspired to do, passion can derive from that. So why don't you describe to me what you experienced yourself. You obviously must have attended the camp at some point in time to see what happens there and what the girls experience and that kind of thing. And why don't you share with us how that may have profoundly affected you?
Yeah, so I, went to summer camps growing up as a kid. I'm born and raised from Augusta, Maine, and, I certainly think being a part of this community, led to me being successful in the sport of luge. I always felt really grounded, being back in Augusta, Maine. So I think that was part of my big desire to come back to Maine to share that experience with the next generation, because I feel like I was given a lot by growing up in Maine and growing up in Augusta.
And now you've made a new friend here with Savannah, and you've been such an influence on her that she's coming back to help out. And how does that make you feel to know that you've had such an effect on someone like Savannah?
It makes me feel great. All my campers, really all kids I connect with throughout different avenues. It's important for me for them to realize there's someone else in their corner. I want all kids to go on and be successful. And, especially with my campers, I keep in touch with them throughout the year with cards and make sure, little reminders that I'm, watching what they're doing. I love seeing them in the paper for the honor roll or for sports or whatever activities they're involved in. And, keeping that personal connection is really important to me. And I'm grateful that, campers want to come back and volunteer. And, that makes me feel even better about the program that we're building, because it means it's going to last, longer and longer.
Right. And you've also made a new friend.
Yeah.
Right? That goes above and beyond the campground thing, right, Savannah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like that, huh? You're hanging out with a hero almost, right? She a hero?
Yeah, well, pretty much for me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she offers some great advice and help for you when you need it and things like that, right? Right. So, Julia, if people want to learn more about the camp and more about what you're all about, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can visit my website, clukeyluge.com, CLUKEYLUGE.com. There's all sorts of information about me as an athlete, the summer camp, the speaking I do at high schools around the state of Maine, all sorts of different things. So it's a fun.
And before you go, and before I let you go, I should say, I happened to go to your site and I saw a picture where you're with all the other Olympians and you're walking in the red, white, and blue uniforms that they hand out to you and things like that. Describe to the people watching what that feels like to be amongst that group of people.
Yeah, that was a pretty special moment. I know exactly what picture you're talking about. That was right before we entered opening ceremonies, and honestly, that was the single moment that it hit me that I was finally an Olympian, that I was finally a part of this group of people that I'd looked up to for so long. It took me 12 years to make the Olympic team, so there was a personal pride of, being able to stick to a goal for that long and persevere and overcome adversity. And then, being able to represent my family and friends who had supported me for those 12 years and my community and state of Maine and my country. It just, it's a moment I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Awesome. Savannah, you're growing in leaps and bounds. And I'm kind of wondering, if this camp has helped you focus on your future and what plans you may have for the future.
I've definitely learned how to set reasonable goals, and I've set a lot of goals that I feel that I can accomplish, and that's a big thing for me is goals, something to look forward to. And so, yeah, that's
nice. That's very nice, right? Good. And you got somebody great in your corner, so that's even better. So good luck to you both, all right? Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Absolutely.
And have a wonderful day today, okay?
Thank
you.
Thanks.
With me now, I have Paul Abbey. Paul,
Great to see you, Todd.
good seeing you again. What do you think about today?
Oh, I think today's a beautiful day for a ride, and we're all here for a good time and raise some money for a good charity.
And I was fortunate enough to meet you last year at this ride. And that was before, I have to shout out, I think we've said it a couple times, but it deserves more accolades. Appreciate you stepping up and becoming a sponsor for Ridin Steel last season, because I got to remember this is going to be shown next season. But appreciate you coming up stepping to the plate and helping us so that the show can continue to be aired on TV. So thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you. And my brother Pete and I and all the crew at Ray Labby and Sons are proud to be sponsors of Ridin Steel. And hopefully we are in 2016. And we're just coming off our 2015 60th reunion for our company. So this is a year of giving thanks.
So it's a family legacy, family owned.
There you go.
60 years. So please, as with all the other sponsors, if you're in need for any services that the Labby family might be able to provide for you, please utilize them. back to the ride today. We met with you at the Johnston Family. You gave us a nice ride up through Lisbon, Wales, Savannah. What do you think? I mean, first of all, how do you know the family? I guess what's your connection to the family?
Well, I'm associated with Maine Aggregate Association. We support gravel industry in the state of Maine and keeping things legal and operated right. I've been hooked up with Ted Johnston since 92, and of course Ted and Marlene had a wicked tragedy in their family, and they've tried to really make something positive out of it for Julia Clukey Camp and also Kents Hill School, and we're just proud to be able to help them out with that.
And that's what I said as I was telling him, just the courage to be able to turn a tragedy into something so productive it's a testament to who they are.
Yeah, absolutely, and we really all have two things in common here today. Love of motorcycles and of course riding them, and our willingness and our want to help out our fellow human beings. You know.
Well, you certainly do that. As I said, I appreciate it. It was a great ride up. Looking forward to doing the ride with you, coming back, having a cookout here at Peppers. Anything else you want to say? You said it all.
No, we look forward to seeing even more people here next year, and
the Sunday after Mother's Day. So if you want to hang out with some interesting people and have a great ride, hopefully you'll join us next year.
And here's a man here that I've known for about 25 years now, and his name is Mike Moore. And, you know, I noticed that you come to this ride in particular, Mike. So why don't, you know, my question is why? Why are you coming to this ride in particular?
I've had losses such as Ted, but nothing as deep. And I believe in what Ted and Marlene doing, and I believe strongly what you're doing. And I just wish we had more people showing up.
Yeah. Well, last year I heard that the ride was really good. We kind of caught this one on just last night. Yeah. You know, it just happened. We found out that Paul Abbey was gathering together for breakfast, and we rode down with him and his daughter and some friends. You know, this whole situation. You know the history behind all of this, don't you?
I do. I've spent a lot of time with Ted over the past few years. We work together sometimes. We've done a lot of stuff together, and we shared some, emotional talks a couple of times, and I knew where he was coming from. And like I said, having losses such as that in my own life, and the people that I associate with have had such losses, and I'm very adamant about promoting anything good today. Yeah. With all the crazy stuff that's going on.
This is true. In this case here, we're helping young ladies, right? I was just speaking with Julia Clukey, and the whole thing behind this camp is to empower the young ladies and, be a positive influence in their life, help guide them through their younger years. You know, as they go from like 8 to 15 years old. It's pretty incredible, really, and I really believe that the young ladies nowadays need that kind of positive influence in their life, don't you?
They do. I have daughters. I know you have daughters, and my girlfriend has a daughter that's been involved in art stuff and stuff like that through the same causes, and even seeing more women riding today has got a lot to do with. I think some of them felt more empowered from doing the camping stuff, and not all of them can afford it, you know. And so if this helps one kid get to camp for a while, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and both you and I know that one person changing can make things happen, big things.
Exactly. I mean, that starts with one. You know, if you feel good about yourself, you pass on your aura to another person, that helps them feel a little stronger. Excellent. That's what I'm seeing happening today.
Yeah. Nice job, Mike. Thank you so much.
Okay, man.
Thanks for taking a minute with me.
It's all right.
All right. All right, we're back here at Pepper's Grill after stopping at, 3 different stops from leaving here. We are lining up under the tent. There's a barbecue going on. There's music being played. What'd you think of the ride?
Great ride. I mean, beautiful day. Best day we've had so far the riding season. Hopefully we'll have more like it. But it was a great ride for a very tragic event, but for a very good and worthy cause.
I want to thank you for taking the time to watch Ridin Steel. Stay tuned. Keep coming back. This is the first ride of the season, season 8. That's right. And we got a lot.
Sons of Anarchy.
That's right. We got a lot more coming for you. If you're a ride organizer and you want to use Ridin Steel to get the word out on your ride, all you got to do is find me on Facebook under Stephen Marois, or email me at realityproductions@hotmail.com, and I will take your flyer and I'll put it on the show. And as we do our segues from one section of the show to the next, there's your flyer and there's the information getting out on your ride. So thank you for watching Ridin Steel.
Attention parents, kids, and educators. Join Keeping Kids Safe and Ridin Steel Friday, February 19th from 5 to 7:30 at Happy Wheel Skate Center in Portland as we continue our efforts to educate on internet safety and bring awareness to the issue of bullying.